We made it! Hey guys, I'm Luke Embers, welcome back to the channel, and today is a very, very special day because I spun for 365 days in a row. So, for some context, I've kind of said it throughout my videos, but to bring it all together at once, June 8th, 2023, I started a journey to which I would practice fire knife spinning for 365 days straight, and I just finished my 365th video, so I figured this would be a great time to do a little reflection on my journey, my progress, how I feel about it, where I'm going in the future, and just to really share more goals and ambitions with you all today. So last year when I first started the journey, I sucked at sivaafi. I started all the way back in 2018, but I had never really practiced at all. I originally learned from the Polynesian dance academy that I work at, Hokuli Academy. But anyways, I learned in 2018, and I have done it for a bit at shows and things like that, and I practice on the side, but I didn't practice often, and I didn't practice enough. I'm not trying to be modest about myself or anything, but in comparison to the people that do it out there, I think I wasn't very good. And I'm totally okay with that. And I realized back last year that, you know, this is a really amazing craft. This is something that's very beautiful and that's very important to me. I want to dedicate myself to a craft, to a culture, and to just having big goals. Last year I was also in a position of a lot of change. I was graduating from college. I was working on a startup at the time, my own startup, and I was going into this huge, just very new shift of my life, and I was kind of looking for many different directions, and I wasn't really sure where to take my life. I was, you know, very confused as to what was important to me, and deep down I knew, but I didn't want to face that answer. But through a lot of hard questions and through a lot of talks with people, with my family, with my friends, with my mentor, I realized that I want to dedicate my life to dancing and sivaafi and fire knife. Because it's funny, I did a huge career change this past year. I graduated from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, with a degree in information sciences. So very much not related to fire knife dancing and Polynesian culture and all that stuff. But here we are. And again, I was in a very transitionary period, and I wasn't sure about what I wanted to do because I try to be very intentional with my life, and I want to make sure that what I'm doing is what I feel is right and what I feel is fulfilling to me. So again, after those long questions and talks, I ultimately decided to start this journey because I wanted to challenge myself, not only in a craft and learning how to do the motions and stuff, but just the whole mindset too. A lot of the challenge is not necessarily about the practice, but your ability to think about and to engage yourself in a activity that is important to you. Right now I have a little guest, her name's Stella. We're dog watching right now, so she's kind of petting me and stuff. But anyways, I had a couple of rules doing this challenge. So typically I wanted to do at least 10 seconds as a start. Because I didn't want to just do a spin and then that's over. Like, you have to be intentional with the growth. That's what I learned throughout it. So I tried to do at least 10 seconds. I wanted to try to do a variation, something I haven't done before. So like a new move or a new combo, something along those lines, so that it is a little bit different it's a little bit different than the previous day, or at least something I haven't done before, so that I'm slowly, you know, expanding my horizon and sphere of what's comfortable and what's not. The last one was to just have fun with it. You know, when it comes to doing something very, very long term, a lot of it is, you kind of think of like, oh, I gotta go hardcore all the time 24/7, but you're gonna burn yourself out doing that. And I had talked to some people prior to starting the challenge about doing that stuff, like long-term plans and things like that. And also just listening to a lot of podcasts. I really tried to focus on having fun with it versus trying to be so hardcore on it, because you're just gonna burn out. Like with anything, not just with this, but with work, right? The whole thing was to have fun, and I wasn't expecting to be like a world champion by the end of it. You know, there's still so much to learn. There's still so much growth in store that I just, again, wanted to challenge myself and prove that I could do something like this. And at times it's really hard, being honest, because there are some days where you've done it for like 100 days in a row and you're like, it's 11:30 at night and you're like, shit, I gotta spin. And I really don't want to spin right now, but you gotta spin if you want to complete the challenge. Especially if I was traveling, because I did do a lot of traveling this year. So let's see where I go. I went to California, I went to Tahiti, I went to Colorado, I went to Costa Rica, I went to Dallas. No, I went to Houston, and then Las Vegas. So I have done a lot of travel in the past year, and honestly, I wasn't sure how I was gonna get through it because, being honest, I'm very much on a budget and I don't have a lot of money, so I try to save as much as I can, and that includes travel. So usually I'll only travel with a backpack to save money on a carry-on thing or checked luggage. So most of the time, I couldn't really afford to take my knives, my practice knife with me to the places that I was going to. So I had to really be stern on finding something to spin so that I could get my days in. What helped was, depending on the days, I could spin on the day I was taking off and then the night I was coming back. But ultimately, like for a longer period of time, whether it was to Tahiti, which was 10 days, or Costa Rica, which was also 10 days, or Las Vegas, which was like 4, I really needed to find something. And it was funny because the people I was with, I would tell them like, I need to find something, I need to complete this challenge. And I was so dedicated to doing it. So I've had my fair share of weird objects that I was spinning, such as broomsticks, umbrellas, a rake, and then I think a stick. And then in Las Vegas, I actually couldn't find anything, but what I did was I took the curtain stick, the thing that you use to close and open the curtains, I took that off and I spun it. So it was like a tiny little rod that I did, but it still worked. And again, like obviously I won't get the best training from those types of objects. The point is, I was intentional about trying to practice. I was intentional about putting in the effort to find something to practice with and to stay true to my word and stay true to my goals and continue the challenge despite me traveling to a different location. So it has had its fair share of times, and I've been almost very late. I've almost missed a day. And not to say that missing a day is bad, it really isn't, because people go at their own pace. You could do 365 days, not necessarily in a row, but over a long period of time, to say that you've done fire knife training for a year. But for me, I wanted to make sure I do it day by day by day by day. I guess I'm just pretty ambitious, but I just wanted to see the progress in a shorter period of time and then reflect on that more and then continue. Why are you so loud? I'm trying to make a video here and the dog does not want to be quiet. Anyways, just reflecting back, I'm really proud of myself for really taking charge on this journey, and to really pushing myself to do something that is fulfilling to myself, challenging at times, and also for a greater purpose that I want to do with my life. It's not just about the practice, but it's about the impact. And I want to be an impact for people who are looking to do something or take ownership of their life, but don't know how to start, or it's hard to see the end result of things, but
looking good, man. Well,
there's a lot going on right now. So
hey Stella, don't bother Uncle you.
I was just recording a video, but it's okay.
2 hours later.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Hopefully no more interruptions. Anyways, doing it for 365 days is daunting, and a lot of people, including myself, can feel very hesitant when starting because they don't know what's going to happen next. They don't know. They just want to go to the end very fast. But at the end of the day, it's all about the day-to-day that you do. Especially in videos and in movies and stuff, you always see the end result, but not the process of getting there. And I want to be very clear and be very transparent on the process that I took to get to where I am and where I'm going. And also, it was nice to just document my progress. I've definitely noticed that I've gotten smoother, I've gotten faster, I've gotten more consistent, I've added more moves to my arsenal, and I've gotten more comfortable doing it on fire. I've just grown in so many different ways, and the power of consistency and compounding interest is insane. You'll see so many results in a year, and this has only been a year. Imagine if I go to 500 days or 1,000 days, which is kind of a nice little tie into my next segment, because the journey doesn't stop here. I want to keep going. I want to be the best fire knife dancer I can be, and the next step, clearly after 365 days, is 500 days. So continuing my journey, I am going to be continuing 500 days of spinning, and from there my ultimate goal is 1,000 days. It's going to be very challenging, it's going to be daunting. I'm going to not want to do it, I know for a fact, and honestly, these past couple of weeks I've been dreading doing the posting. Despite it being so close, I'm just like, man, I'm so tired of spinning sometimes. So yeah, that's another thing I want to share with you guys, is that again, I'm continuing this journey from 365 days to 500 days next, and ultimately 1,000 days. And I want to share the journey. I want to make sure I'm transparent with you guys, and even with myself, about how I feel, about what it looks like day by day, kind of what's in my head about things, and to really make sure that it's for the right reasons too, because I'm not doing this necessarily for the glamour and the fame, or to show off, or to prove that I'm better than someone else. It's about making evidence for myself that I am capable of doing this. That's just a little bit of a reflection for me. It's nothing too crazy. I mean, I'm really grateful for the process, and again, coming this far. And despite me being sick too at times, where I'm in bed and I just don't want to do anything, like I still spin in bed, you know, you find ways to make it work. It's just a really big milestone for me, and I feel that I'm going the right direction, and I'm really happy, and I appreciate you guys being here to be a part of that journey and to see the progress and to support. No matter how many of there you are, whether it's one person, 20, 100, or even nobody, hopefully one day this helps somebody, and that you can see my journey, and that you can understand all it is consistency. So to end the video, I just want to share the progression that I have from day 1 to day 365. All of the footage combined is very long, it's like an hour, so I've condensed it to like a second from each day, so that way it's about 3 minutes-ish. So hopefully it's a little bit more digestible for you guys. But if you want to see every single video, you know where to find it. It's on TikTok at Luke Embers. You can go scroll through each video day by day if you want to see the full thing for each one. But otherwise, here's a little sped up version, so it's a little bit more digestible. But here's to 365 days of sivaafi spinning, and here is to 500 days and ultimately 1,000 days. I appreciate you guys being here and for seeing my progress and journey. I want to be what remains, beyond the doubt, beyond the concern or any negative feelings throughout the process. I want to be what remains, and you should too. So like always, be what remains. I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Been hustling and tonight is my appraisal, cause I'm a hooker selling songs and my pimp's a record label. This world is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders, so I do the deed, get up and leave a climber and a sadist, yeah. Are you ready for the sequel? Ain't ready for the latest? In the garden of evil, I'm gonna be the greatest. In a golden cathedral, I'll be praying for the faithless. And if you lose, boo-hoo. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Everything's coming up aces, aces. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, ma, I made it. Friends are happy for me, or they're honeysuckle phonies, and they celebrate my medals, or they wanna take my trophies. Some are loyal soldiers, while these other thorns are rosy. And if you never know who you can trust, then trust me, you'll be lonely. Oh, are you ready for the sequel?